Hello, everyone. Welcome to the weekly energy report. I'm so excited. I love the holidays, you guys. I love it. I know everybody has some mixed feelings about holidays because depending on your family situation or any triggers you might have, for some people it's a very heavy experience. For others, it's a very light, playful experience. So I honor all who enter here. I honor all who are here and all of your experiences. But just remember, you are what makes the holiday what it is. Not family, not where you are, not who you're surrounded by. Not you make it what you want to make it. So if you want to switch up how it's been for all the years that it's been, if it's been heavy for you, you get to do that. You have a responsibility to do that. You can take accountability and responsibility for your life and create whatever you want. So think of it as a new experience, something to transform into. So that's what I'm going to talk about this week because we're transforming into things right now. Last week we talked about creation and how as we create, it's all about just taking that one first step, right? Just one step. So as the energy from creation comes in from last week, which is actually perfect because Saturday, this last Saturday was the new moon in Scorpio. A new moon is really about just new things, new beginnings, new mindsets, new identities, new shifts, everything shifting and becoming. All right, there's a big word, becoming, right? So there's like transitions and things going on. We all know that when transitions happen and becoming, we start becoming and unfolding into who we're meant to be, things can get a little, a little itchy, there's things that come in and it's like universe tests, or you decide to change your mindset or something and you don't really know how to move forth in that energy space. So you may make some movements or some decisions that are like, ooh, I shouldn't have done that, or I shouldn't have told that person that way. For instance, I made a decision when I started my business, started receiving business coaching, that I was going to cut some ties with people, not like to say like, oh, I don't want to hang out with you anymore, but just like, okay, I need to separate myself a little bit, stop interacting so much on Facebook, besides doing my social networking and marketing for my business, and kind of just like stepping back and separating a little bit in order to focus on me. And when I did that, some of the people I told, or the groups that I told, or when I was getting used to that transition, I'd have people ask me to dinner or something and I'd have to be like, unless it's for business, I'm not doing it. And so then I started thinking, oh, like you don't want to be like that. You don't want to be caustic or rude. So there's a way, be kind to yourself. When you're having transitions, you're not going to know how to really move through those waters. It's going to take a second, especially if it's a new thing or a new mindset. I was coaching someone yesterday, business coaching, about her next steps in her business and how to shift your energy. When you shift your energy from that which you don't want, or that which what you've been doing over and over, to that which what you do want, after you kind of like start separating from that energy, it's gonna test you. It's gonna come back and it's gonna say, hey, knock, knock, knock. Like for instance, one of my things was, I'm gonna stop doing free things. So I stopped doing free stuff and started doing like my cheapest thing is $10. So it's not, I still have options for people that don't want to spend a lot, but for me, it's important that people know what I do is of value and it is my business. And so when I made that decision and started shifting into that mindset, it became where I got even more people saying like, help me, I'm in like a really bad stage in my life and I need help. It's not like I wouldn't help those people, but at the same time, it was like the universe testing me, saying, are you going to stand up for what intention you set? And how are you going to do it? How are you going to navigate those waters? How are you going to navigate that? How are you going to be empathetic, compassionate, and talk to these people and help them, but at the same time have boundaries and the energy space? It's really about the energy space, because as we kind of push out our aura and say, this is what I deserve, this is what I'm going for in my life, that stuff is going to start coming toward us, right? So it's that middle stage, I feel like right now, especially with the Scorpio new moon. New moon's about new beginnings. Scorpio is about transformation and moving and shifting and intensity and desire, right? Desire and passion. So I pulled some cards and I'm going to explain each card as I go. So the first card I pulled is for the energy of the new moon, transitioning us into this week. So for me, it is Sunday, the 19th, And for this energy reading is for Monday the 20th. So I'm going to be talking right now about energy that's coming from the new moon that was on Saturday into this new week. So Monday, Tuesday, right? So the card I pulled is the Tower. Not the most fun card, not a card anyone really wants to see in their readings, but I don't know why, because to me it's beautiful and amazing because it means transformation, shaking things up. This is the shake things up card, okay? So things are getting shaken up. This is what I was saying about when your energy shifts, things that you're trying to shift out of may keep coming in, and they're testing you to be able to, like I said, compassionately and with empathy, look at them. Look at what it's basically showing you. This is what you were creating before. So it's showing you a comparison of what you're creating now and what you were creating then. And it's kind of showing you like, look at the difference of energies so that you can be able to navigate them easier. Okay, so the Tower is about changes. It's about things coming crashing down in order for you to transform through them and into that which who you really are, that which you're really trying to bring into your life. And when you're trying to bring in new things, everything's shifting. Energy is shifting. Mindset is shifting. And as you shift, things are going to fall away and get messy, okay? And that's okay. It's very important that we are open with ourselves and that we are not feeling self-hatred or shame about these transitions and moving forward, okay? That's what we're living this life on the planet Earth as human beings to do. That's our entire point for being here. To find the perfect job and the perfect life and stay in that little comfortable nucleus for the rest of our lives is not what we're supposed to be doing. It's what we've been culturally programmed to see as right or the right thing to do, but it's an illusion. It's false. And anyone who shows up that illusion of everything's great is lying. We all have things we're going through every single day, and it's important that it doesn't mean we have to tell everybody like, oh, everything's going, it's so hard, everything I try to do. It's important that we stay in the positive, but at the same time, honor the things that are happening that are kind of making things crumble around us, right? Okay, so that's the energy. That's kind of like a past energy that we're transforming through to become more in our creation standpoint, which is what we were last week. So last week was about creation. And as you create things, this crumbling starts to happen. And then the new moon brought in this energy, which that's Scorpio. That's kind of crumbling and intensity and transformation. And that's bringing us into this week, which is coming away from the Tower and coming into like new blank slate after the crumbling, right? So it's about more creation from a space of moving through the new, like reinventing ourselves. You know, when you reinvent yourself, all this new stuff happens and that stuff, the debris crumbles away, the debris. All right. So the next card I pulled, this week's energy. So I pulled one card for this week's energy and it ended up being the same card as last week. So I was like, I'm going to pull a second card. So I pulled two cards for this week's energy. So hold on 1 minute. I'm getting information. So last week was creation. It was about taking the first step, taking action. And then also adventure. I'm feeling a really strong pull toward adventure. For instance, something I did is that I am a Cancer. I don't know if you guys know the Cancer mentality, but Cancers like to be comfy and cozy at home, most of us anyways, and like to be homebodies. So I'm a homebody. I don't like to, like I was just talking about, like we're not supposed to be safe and comfortable. That's actually my go-to, is that I want to be safe and comfortable. But I know being a spiritual being and a spiritual teacher and healer, that's not what I'm supposed to do. So I'm constantly being pulled into, but it's more comfy and safe to do that. And I'm like, I know, but that's not why I'm here. And that I know, but that's not why I'm here mentality always overrides my comfort because I know that I'm supposed to be doing something bigger. So I keep going. So adventure is something I'm really feeling for this week. So if your first step is anything, first step into the unknown, make it an adventure, make it fun. When people think like risk, adventure, they think fear and something they don't want to do. Let's switch that mindset to, no, what I'm saying is when you do something new, do that first action, make it be something you love. Like what lights you up that you're not doing? Make priority for it, make time for it, you know? So for me, it was creating this meetup group that I did. So most of you might have seen this on Facebook and other sources, but I created a meetup group and that was a big step for me because I like my comfort. I like being at home. I like having time to myself. I don't like I like planning stuff for me, but I don't like planning group events because then you have people yelling at you and this is what I want to do on this date. And no, that date doesn't work for me. But I get to realize, hey, with my own meetup group, I'm in complete control. I can pick where we meet, what time, what we do. Okay, so the meetup group I created is called, I have to remember now because it's a little bit of a long title, but it's called Beyond the Steps, the Sober Social Club, or Sober Social Club. So this is for people that are newly sober, and actually can be anyone that's been in sobriety and kind of is looking for more than what the 12 steps has given them. 12 steps are amazing. It's nothing against that. It's just saying like some form of socializing that has less to do with working through the addiction steps and more about just having fun and being social with other people who understand what you're going through and what you're feeling. So I created that, which was a stretch for me. And it was an adventurous thing because I was like, okay, because I have made a list. I moved to LA almost 7 years ago. And I made a list of all the things I wanted to do. And I've done maybe 3 of those things. And so I get to kill 2 birds with 1 stone and take all of the stuff that I've been saying I want to do and push it into this meetup group and do it with like-minded folks. So I'm really excited. Like I always say, if you don't have a community, or if you don't feel like you have a community, or if you have a business and you don't feel like you're finding your clients, the people you want to work with, create your own community. Create a meetup group, create a podcast, create a Facebook group, create your own community of like-minded people, and just speak to basically yourself. Speak to what you want. So for me, I think back to when I was newly sober. What did I want? First of all, I had just gotten done with having a DUI. I had gone through the whole year of classes that I had to take, court-ordered classes. I went to Adult Children of Alcoholics 12-step group, which changed my life and saved my life forever. I love it. And did that. But then afterwards, I was like, I just feel like I'm in a circular motion and I want something more. So when I talk about doing the next thing, I'm speaking to those people. I'm speaking to myself when I was in that place. What would I have needed? What would have served me the most? So when I'm speaking of taking the first step, taking action, or doing something that's adventurous, instead of thinking of the word risk as being something scary, thinking of something as like, let's create something fun that I want to do. I'm tired of doing what everyone else wants to do or whatever. Like I'm going to create it myself. So creation also falls under this adventure thing, right? So for me, it was this meetup group. I already have a little, I picked a little cozy cafe that we're all going to meet at. And then my next meetup is for a trip to the Natural Museum of History in Los Angeles, which I've never gone to and always have wanted to. They're having a tattoo exhibition and I love tattoos. So I'm like, let's just go into this tattoo exhibition. Like instead of wanting to do it and having no one to go with and I can't find anyone, I'm just going to create events and have people show up and go with me. And then the next one that I'm going to be doing is a holiday party at my house for the sober crew. So people who just kind of like, well, basically it's going to be called like holiday party for misfits. So people who feel like maybe they don't have a family, or the family they do have is like drinking and partying and they just want to really have a party with like-minded folks that isn't focused on drinking. So I'm using these as examples to tell you like if there's a first step you want to be taking in your business or in your life that because you're feeling a little stagnant, those are some good first things to do. Create your own community, okay? So the cards that I got for the energy of this week are matched with last week. This creation thing's going to keep going, okay? Remember, collective energy as it applies to everyone, it takes time. And this is like, this creation energy is just like, it's a new thing that's coming in. And it could be that the next year is about this creation. Could be that the next month is about this creation. I might pull this card every week for the next 4 weeks. I don't know. So this is about creation. It's about partying. It's about victory. It's about love. It's about sensuality. It's about coming together with family. So this is really apt for Thanksgiving. You even have like pumpkin looking things down here, and growth and fall time. It looks like fall and harvest time. So it's about getting together with loved ones and being really tapping into the gratitude and all the beautiful things we have around us. Like I was saying, when you're looking for, say, your ideal client or your ideal group or your community, instead of saying, oh, I can't get away from these people or this situation. It's always happening to me. Shifting into, well, instead of paying attention to the people that that aren't your people, shift to the energy of, where are my people? And I'm going to go find my people. And these are your people, right? The people that you want to be victorious with and share your life with, okay? And because this is a card that I pulled last week, I'm like, I'm going to pull a clarifying card, another card to go with it. So I pulled the Queen of Swords, another feminine card. This card is like the feminine, watery, like emotional, loving, supportive. And this is like a little bit more of a sharper edge. So this is like the feminine. So she listens, she nurtures, but she's more disciplinarian. She's a speaker. She's a healer. She's all about clarity. And you know, when we're talking about swords, we're talking about knife. So we're talking about razor sharp clarity and being really like, you know, a queen is a leader. So she's a leader, but she leads with her words. She leads with her actions. And she leads with just razor sharp clarity. This is how it's going to be. I'm making the decision. And so when I'm talking about community and adventure, it's about like, I'm making the decision to move forward in this way, right? This is what I've decided. So I sometimes pull these cards next to each other. These ones I pulled on top of one another. So you can see the sword kind of going up there a little bit. So it's like, it's almost like these group of girls are kind of like victorious and loving and having so much fun, and then this feminine mom type comes in with her little like pokey stick and goes like, hello, like you got to get going, like it's time to get clear on your life and what you need to do. And it's like, but we're having a party. This is like the mom coming in to crash the party, right? And it's like, yes, you've partied and you've been victorious long enough. It's time to get on the ball, right? So it's not mean. It's more like, let's get going. Like, let's get our butts in gear, okay? So this is more of a get your butts in gear type of energy. But it's out of love and it's out of holding you high. So you can see her hand going like this. She's holding these women high and saying, I see what you have inside you. And so I'm going to push you. And you may look at me and say, ugh, I don't like that. Leave me alone. That's what it's like a motherly energy, right? Like, ugh, you think you know everything, mom. You don't even know. Like, I'm busy right now. And then a year later, you'll be like, dang it, she was right. Because I really did need to get off my butt and do that. So this is that energy of, I'm holding you high. I'm holding you accountable. I know how responsible, beautiful you are, and empowered you could be if you did this, that, and this. So this is like this energy of, give yourself time to play and party, but at the same time, know that there's this beautiful energy inside you that's empowered and ready to go, that you get to take and say, okay, let's really go forward with this energy, and all of the things will open up in front of us, right? Okay, so the third set, the last card I pulled is for Thanksgiving weekend. So this card is for the weekend energy, and we're going into it with this like party kind of feeling, but it's going to be, so Thanksgiving weekend energy is the High Priestess. So this actually kind of goes with this. So this kind of mom figure, this, not even mom, but more of a leader, this disciplinarian leader, but she does love, but she comes off as like, I believe in you, get off your ass, basically. And then this is like also kind of like a mother card or a leader card, but this is more from a space of going internal, going introspective, like breathing into who you are and what you've created. And she's a moon goddess. She's got the moon right here. Her dress is like pooled around her feet, made to look like water. So the moon is connected to water, right? So it's about really tapping into that watery, like feminine power. We have the cups here. Cups are about water, and same thing with this cloak. It looks like watery a little bit. So this is about, it's actually a very good balance, because Scorpio, which we're just coming out of Scorpio, we're still in Scorpio season a little bit, which is water. Scorpio is ruled by water, so that's perfect. So we have like, but it's a good balance because we have all of this water, which is emotion. And in order for the emotion not to gush over too much, we have this air to keep the water in check. And then all of a sudden a little bit more water comes in to say like, it's okay. Like, we can be disciplinarian and get off our asses, but still be like introspective and loving and healing. there's a lot of healing that the priestess does. Whenever I do my Reiki healing sessions or my energy healing sessions, I always bring in my own high priestess because she holds the space for healing. So I will be doing my healing session. I'll bring in the priestess. She'll stand on the opposite side of me. She looks at me. She holds me accountable. She holds the space for healing. So she holds the space all around my client for the healing of my client and myself. So this is about healing. It's about going within. It's about loving oneself. And it's about loving oneself through this process. And it's a 2 card. So it's about balance. It's about symmetry. So it's kind of about finding the balance. So if you look at it this way, like you'll see the picture on my Facebook post that I do about this, that the tower is on one side, which is the energy coming over from last week and going away. You know, it's just kind of like the transitionary energy into Monday. And then on the opposite side is the high priestess. So we have it's like this balance, this symmetry where it's like, yes, this uncomfortable stuff is happening, but it's doing it for our highest and greatest good to show us what we're not looking at. And then at the end of the week, it kind of caps with this balance and this kind of like button where it's like, okay, we had the tower when we came in, but over the period of this week, I've gone introspective. I felt into who I am and what I want. And now I'm like ready. And so we'll look at this next week when I do next week's energy reading to see like, this will be last week's energy and carry over to the next one. So just know that this like wisdom, this healing, this self-healing energy is here holding the space for all of your transitions. Okay. All right. So that's the energy. I'm going to look at my list, see if I left out anything. Okay. Adventure, stretching outside of your comfort zone, knowing that perfection is a prison, and no matter how much you plan something, it's going to get messy. So just let it out into the world. That's where the adventure comes in. Creation, adventure. That's why you're on the planet. And when we create, it gets messy. It's like a kid with finger paints. It gets messy. Let it be messy. That's how it's supposed to be. Perfection is a prison. Okay, you guys? All right. New moon in Scorpio, Thanksgiving coming up. Yep, that's everything. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed the energy reading for this week. Have a fantastic weekend, and I love you all very much, and enjoy your Thanksgiving. Make a list, make a gratitude journal, and for everything we have around us. If you are able to push play on this YouTube video and watch it, you have more than 80% of the planet that other people have. Do you know what I mean? We are very grateful and blessed to have what we have. So much love, much gratitude for you, and I will see you next week for next week's energy report.